You want to win. Good. Then stop living like a loser. Every single day you wake up, you're faced with a choice. Be average or step up and dominate. And the truth is, winning isn't some magical event. It's not luck. It's not handed out like candy. Winning is built in the quiet, lonely moments when no one's watching. First thing, own your morning. Don't touch your phone. Don't scroll. Get up. Cold shower. Get uncomfortable immediately. Start the day like a savage, not a slave to dopamine. Winners command their mornings. They don't drift through them. They attack the day before the day attacks them. Next, discipline over motivation. Everyone's waiting to feel ready. Newsflash, you'll never feel ready. Winners move when it's hard. Winners move when they're tired. Discipline means doing it regardless of emotion. That's how you separate yourself from the weak. Your mind is a weapon. Sharpen it. Read, train, build. Every day should be a step forward. If you're not getting stronger, sharper, richer, or more skilled, you're losing, period. Don't let your mind rot with distractions and excuses. Train your thoughts to work for you, not against you. Now listen, pain is part of the process. You think it's meant to be easy. It's meant to hurt. The gym hurts. Waking up early hurts. Grinding on your goals hurts. But pain is the tax you pay for greatness. Most will quit when it burns. Winners smile through the fire. And here's the hard truth: comfort is killing you. That warm bed, those easy habits, that "I'll do it tomorrow" attitude, it's all a trap. Comfort creates mediocrity. Winners reject comfort. They chase what's hard. They seek pressure. They choose war over peace because they know peace makes you soft. Lastly, take ruthless accountability. Every failure, yours. Every delay, yours. Stop blaming your past, your family, your boss, your luck. The moment you blame anything outside yourself, you give away your power. And winners never do that. So if you want to win, truly win, you need to become dangerous mentally, physically, financially. Every day, do the things others are too weak to do. Every day, build the habits that breed killers, not victims. Don't wait. Don't wish. Work and watch how fast the world gets out of your way. Discipline over motivation. This is the foundation of every high-level performer, every self-made millionaire, every individual who dominates in their field. People get this wrong all the time. They wait for motivation like it's some magical burst of energy that will swoop in and carry them towards success. That's a fantasy. Motivation is a feeling, temporary, unreliable, and inconsistent. Some days you'll feel it, most days you won't. And if your life, your goals, and your future depend on something that weak, then you've already lost the battle before it even begins. Discipline, on the other hand, is the real game changer. It's cold, it's brutal, but it works. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask questions. It simply shows up day in and day out. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. Especially then. People who rely on motivation will go to the gym when they feel like it. People with discipline go no matter what. Rain, snow, pain, exhaustion, bad mood, good mood. It doesn't matter. They show up because they said they would. They've made a commitment to themselves, and they honor that above all else. That's real power. When you train yourself to move without needing permission from your emotions, you become dangerous. You become rare. Because most people are slaves to how they feel. They let their mood dictate their performance. They let comfort decide their actions. But not you. Not if you want to win. Discipline creates consistency. And consistency creates results. You can't get fit hitting the gym twice a month. You can't build a business showing up once a week. You can't become mentally sharp if you only read books when it's convenient. Winners don't work on their goals when they have time. They make time. They rearrange their lives around what matters most. And that takes discipline. Discipline to say no to distractions. Discipline to delay gratification. Discipline to focus on long-term growth instead of short-term comfort. It's a choice. Every morning, you either take control of your day or let it control you. When the alarm rings, do you hit snooze or do you get up immediately? When you're tired, do you push through or do you take the easy way out? These decisions define you, and the more you train yourself to choose discipline, the stronger you get. It becomes part of your identity. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop entertaining excuses. You become the kind of person who gets things done, regardless of mood, weather, or circumstance. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. No one's going to applaud you for it, but it pays dividends. It builds habits that serve you for life. It creates self-respect. Because every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you prove to yourself that you're trustworthy, that you're capable, that you're not a liar. And over time, that confidence compounds. You stop doubting. You stop second-guessing. You execute with precision. So forget chasing motivation. Forget waiting for the right time. There is no perfect moment. The only way forward is through discipline. Build it, practice it, live by it. Because the world doesn't reward those who work when it's easy. It rewards those who grind when it's hard. That's the edge. That's the mindset. That's how winners are made. Own the morning. That's where everything begins. Before the world gets loud, before distractions pull you in 20 different directions, before anyone else has a say in how your day unfolds, own that first hour. Because how you start your morning is exactly how you build your life. People underestimate the power of the morning. They think it's just the time to drag out of bed, scroll through their phone, snooze the alarm 5 times, or lazily sip on coffee while drowning in emails. That's how average people operate. That's how the masses lose. You want to win. Then take control the second your eyes open. Your morning sets the tone. It sets the rhythm. It tells your mind and your body who's in charge. And if you begin your day in chaos, you'll carry that energy into every decision, every task, every moment. But if you start your day with intention, discipline, and energy, you become unstoppable. You're not reacting, you're directing. You're not surviving the day, you're commanding it. The first move of your day should not be reaching for your phone. That's digital poison. That's you handing over control to the outside world before you've even connected with yourself. You wake up and start scrolling through nonsense, other people's opinions, fake news, filtered lives, negativity, and you wonder why you feel anxious, tired, unfocused. You've already lost control before you've even left the bed. Instead, get up with purpose. No hesitation, no delay. The alarm goes off and you rise like a machine. Cold shower, hydrate, move your body, stretch, breathe. Feed your mind with something sharp. Read a few pages from a powerful book, journal, or speak your goals out loud. Set your intention. Visualize domination. Do something that makes your blood pump. Your goal is to wake yourself up from the inside out. You don't need energy drinks. You need to reconnect with the power you already have but haven't been using. That early fire sets the pace for the entire day. This is about momentum. When you start strong, you carry that momentum into your work, your decisions, your communication, your focus. You make better choices. You think clearer. You're less reactive and more proactive. You're grounded in clarity and aggression, not floating in confusion and laziness. Winners understand that the morning is sacred. It's the hour where you train yourself to be disciplined, focused, and dangerous before anyone else even opens their eyes. And when you stack productive, intentional mornings over time, you build a powerful life. The world belongs to the early risers, the ones who don't wait for permission, the ones who create the energy they need. This isn't about being a morning person. That's an excuse. This is about doing what needs to be done whether you like it or not. You want to sleep in. That's comfort talking. And comfort is the enemy. You think you're tired. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. The longer you entertain comfort in the morning, the more you weaken your mental grip on the rest of your day. So you choose. Every morning is an opportunity to win before the world even wakes up. Own the morning, and you own the rest of your life. Control your mind. If you don't, someone else will. The world is full of noise, distractions, opinions, and manipulation. Every single day, you are being bombarded with information designed to make you doubt yourself, stay weak, stay soft, and stay broke. And if your mind isn't fortified, if it's not under your control, it becomes a tool for your destruction instead of your evolution. Weak thoughts create weak actions. Weak actions create a weak life. That's the truth no one wants to say out loud, but you need to hear it. Your thoughts shape your reality. That's not some fluffy motivational nonsense. It's psychological fact. The way you think directly affects the way you feel, the way you speak, and the way you behave. If your inner dialogue is full of doubt, hesitation, negativity, or victimhood, your external life will reflect that. You'll hesitate, procrastinate, make excuses, settle for less, and live a life far beneath your potential. But if your thoughts are sharp, focused, relentless, and dominant, your actions will follow suit. And your results will become a reflection of that mindset. Most people walk around with a broken mental system. They feed their minds garbage, low-value content, gossip, fake news, emotional distractions, and then wonder why they feel overwhelmed, lost, or weak. They allow every opinion, every trend, every toxic voice to rent space in their head for free. You can't build a strong life with a weak mind. You can't chase greatness while babysitting every emotional impulse. If your thoughts are undisciplined, your life will be out of control. So train it, clean it, strengthen it. Start by becoming aware. Pay attention to what you're thinking throughout the day. Are your thoughts helping you or hurting you? Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Once you identify the garbage, remove it. Replace every doubt with truth. Replace every fear with focus. Replace every excuse with action. Speak to yourself like a warrior, not a victim. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are what you decide to become. But it starts in your head. Repetition is key. You don't fix your mindset once and never touch it again. You train it daily, just like you train your body. Affirm your goals. Visualize success. Remind yourself of your standards. When negative thoughts try to sneak in, and they will, you confront them instantly. You don't entertain them. You crush them with logic, action, and mental discipline. This is how you build mental resilience. This is how you create a mind that serves you, not one that sabotages you. You need to build a mental environment that matches your ambition. No more coddling weakness. No more emotional overreactions. No more surrendering to fear. You must become the master of your mind if you ever want to become the master of your life. So take responsibility for your mental state. Feed it truth. Feed it power. Feed it clarity. Because if your mind is strong, there's nothing you can't do. But if your mind is weak, even the smallest challenge will break you. Control your mind or be controlled by everything else. The choice is yours. Cut out weakness. Eliminate it from your mind, your habits, your circle, your language, and your lifestyle. Weakness isn't just laziness. It's a disease that creeps in when standards are lowered. And if you allow it to take root, it will grow and infect every part of your life. The truth is, most people tolerate weakness because it's comfortable. It feels good to make excuses. It feels easy to avoid pain. But the longer you tolerate weakness, the more it consumes you. And one day, you wake up stuck in a life that's completely out of alignment with your potential. Soft, passive, and invisible. You don't get strong by accepting the things that make you weak. You get strong by confronting them, by ripping them out, and by replacing them with strength, control, and power. Look at your habits. Do they make you stronger or softer? Are you feeding your body trash? Are you skipping workouts? Are you sleeping in and calling it self-care? That's weakness disguised as logic. You need to develop the ability to identify those moments when weakness whispers in your ear and silence it with action. Every time you do something hard when you don't feel like it, you're killing that weakness. You're building grit. And that grit is what separates winners from the average. Start with your language. Stop saying things like, I can't, I'm not good at this, or maybe later. Those are weakness cues. Every time you say them, you reinforce a powerless mindset. Instead, replace them with I will, I'm figuring it out, or no. Your words shape your identity, and your identity drives your actions. If your words are weak, your actions will follow. Speak like someone who expects to win, even if you haven't won yet. That belief becomes your fuel. Now look at your circle. Who do you surround yourself with? Are they people who push you to rise, or pull you into comfort. Weak people love to keep company with other weak people because it validates their lifestyle. Misery doesn't just love company. It builds alliances. You can't become powerful if your circle of excuses, gossip, and mediocrity. Cut them off. You're not being harsh, you're being strategic. This is war, and in war, you don't carry dead weight. Cutting out weakness also means raising your standards. What you tolerate becomes your reality. If you tolerate disrespect, you'll keep getting it. If you tolerate sloppiness, your work will reflect it. If you tolerate mental laziness, your results will expose it. Winners raise the bar. They don't accept anything below excellence. Not in their work, their time, their relationships, or themselves. And when something doesn't meet the standard, they don't complain. They take action and fix it. Weakness dies in the presence of discipline. It dies when you say no to the easy path and yes to the one that demands more. So start today. Audit your life. Where are you letting weakness live rent-free? Where are you justifying behavior that's holding you back? Find it. Destroy it. Replace it with strength, control, precision, and hunger. Because at the end of the day, you're either becoming stronger or weaker. There is no neutral, and every decision you make is a vote. So cast your vote for power. Eliminate weakness, ruthlessly, consistently, and without apology. That's how you win. Stop negotiating with yourself. That inner dialogue, the one that tries to talk you out of doing the hard things, the uncomfortable things, the necessary things. It's not your friend. It's weakness in disguise. It's the voice of comfort, laziness, fear, and mediocrity trying to hijack your future. And the more you listen to it, the more power you give it. Winners don't sit there arguing with themselves about whether they should do what they said they would. They don't entertain thoughts like, maybe I'll start tomorrow, or I don't feel like it today. They've already decided, and once the decision is made, feelings become irrelevant. Every time you hesitate, every time you debate whether to do what needs to be done, you lose momentum. You lose control. You let that inner weakness start building a case, convincing you that comfort is justified. But here's the brutal truth. No one cares how you feel. The world rewards results, not intentions. Your dreams won't become reality just because you want them badly. They only show up when you act with consistency and aggression, especially when it's uncomfortable. That's where the power is, doing the work whether you feel like it or not. Discipline means doing it anyway. You said you were going to train today. Then you train. You said you were going to finish that task. Then you finish it. You don't allow the voice in your head to talk you out of greatness. You don't need a motivational speech every morning. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to become the kind of person who follows through no matter what. That's where the separation happens. That's where the elite rise while the average fall back into their old habits. Look at the military. Look at professional athletes. Look at anyone who dominates in their field. They've built a mindset that ignores excuses and executes on command. There's no back and forth in their head about whether they should show up. They operate by principle, not preference. That's what you need. You need to build systems, routines, and standards that override your emotional state. You're tired. So what? You're bored. Who cares? You're not feeling it. Irrelevant. That inner negotiation is a trap, and it's cost more dreams than failure ever has. You want to change your life. Stop making decisions based on how you feel. Start making them based on who you want to become. Every time you ignore the voice telling you to quit, you strengthen your identity as a winner. And over time, that identity becomes your default setting. The more often you say, no, I'm doing it anyway, the easier it becomes. You rewire your brain to operate from strength, not softness. And when that becomes your habit, everything changes. Your discipline sharpens, your confidence grows, your results multiply. Success doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. And consistency is the result of silencing that inner negotiator every single day. That voice will always be there. It never fully goes away, but you get to decide who has the final say. Is it the voice of strength or the voice of weakness? Is it the voice of action or the voice of excuses. Winners don't debate with themselves. They dominate themselves. They act, they execute, and they win. So the next time that inner voice starts to bargain, starts to beg, starts to rationalize, shut it down. Do the work anyway. That's the difference between a dreamer and a finisher. You need to build an identity so strong that nothing can shake it. Your goals, your discipline, your mindset, none of that will last if you still see yourself as the same person you were when you started. Growth isn't just about doing more, it's about becoming more. And that starts with how you see yourself when no one's watching. If you still identify as average, you'll act like it. If you still carry the habits, the beliefs, the doubts of your old self, you'll always return to your default settings. You must kill off the old version of you and replace it with someone who expects to win. Not hopes to win, expects it. Every action you take is a vote for the identity you're building. When you wake up early instead of sleeping in, that's a vote. When you train when you're tired, that's a vote. When you keep your word even when it's inconvenient, that's a vote. Over time, those votes accumulate. And what they create isn't just a result, it's a new version of you. That version doesn't need motivation to act. That version doesn't crumble under pressure. That version walks into every room with presence, with power, because they've earned it. You can't fake identity. It's built in silence, through repetition, through sacrifice, through action. If your identity isn't rooted in excellence, you'll always sabotage yourself when things start working. Why? Because your brain is wired to return to what feels familiar. So if struggle and failure feel normal to you, you'll unconsciously pull yourself back every time you get ahead. That's why you must become obsessed with aligning your behavior with your future self. Every day, ask yourself, is this how a winner moves? Is this how a disciplined, dangerous, high-value person operates? If the answer is no, then change it. That's called accountability, and it's non-negotiable. The people who make it to the top don't get lucky. They create a self-image so powerful that failure becomes incompatible with who they are. Even when they lose, they learn. Even when they fall, they rise faster. Why? Because their identity demands it. They don't need external validation to keep going. Their internal standard is so high that anything below domination feels offensive. That's the level you need to operate at, not for show, not for applause, but because it's who you are. Forget external motivation. Build internal standards. Anyone can grind for a few weeks when they're hyped up, but only a few stay consistent when no one's watching, when progress is slow, when no one claps. That's where identity separates the elite from the average. Winners don't need reminders to train, to execute, to outwork the competition. It's programmed into them, it's who they are. And when you build that kind of identity, nothing can shake you. Not rejection, not failure, not pain. Because your actions aren't dependent on outcomes, they're driven by identity. Start seeing yourself as the kind of person who always shows up, who never quits, who thrives under pressure. Even if your reality hasn't caught up yet, act like it already has. Because reality follows identity. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe you are. So decide who you are, and then prove it every single day through your actions. No negotiation, no doubt. Just discipline, belief, and relentless execution. That's how you win.